So I've been a Nintendo 3DS owner since the beginning. When the console came out as a journalist, Nintendo sent me one. But the last year in particular, it's really come into its own for me. I've got the 3DS XL, the Fire Emblem edition. I think that the combination of the bigger screens, also the fact that Fire Emblem is an absolutely fantastic game, really won me over, and I moved over straight away from the standard 3DS to the 3DS XL. Really like the screens on this thing. With the technology that's now available, Animal Crossing really captured the imagination of the journalists that I speak to on a regular basis. That ability to sort of play with your friends and go and visit other towns, the ability to share screenshots as well through the 3DS, obviously social media, so Twitter. I just remember the first month that launched, just my Facebook feed just being full of people playing Animal Crossing. It's that sign of that quality that Nintendo has in their games that. Just absolutely incredible writing in Animal Crossing. It's a very family-friendly game, but for someone like me, I really appreciate the writing, which is still relatively rare in video games. The individual nature of the characters, they're all really funny. They all have distinct personalities, and I'm aware that they're not real inhabitants. They're based in the 3DS, so they're not real, but they really feel like proper characters that I want to find out more about. I want to discover what's happening in their personal lives. So Animal Crossing is the game that I play on a regular basis, at least a couple of times a week, if not more. For me as a games journalist, one of the most interesting things that's happening at the moment is the rise of indie games. And I think on 3DS, one of the biggest indie games outside of the 3DS anywhere really in the games industry has been SteamWorld Dig, a really fantastic game that it has that power to come out of nowhere and really shock and surprise you, and it's just a really fantastic indie game. And like I say, as a games journalist, I sometimes get bored of shooting things and the amount of violence that is in certain games, but in the indie space, SteamWorld Dig is just one of those games that comes along and really blows you away, and it's great to see it on a portable console like the 3DS. And I tell all my friends to go and play those games and support those games because they're being made by true visionaries, and it's great to see Nintendo supporting a game as individual and as fun and as out there as SteamWorld Dig. So it's really great to see that Nintendo has been really clever in giving away some really good games. As I mentioned, some really great games in the Nintendo 3DS software library, but giving those away to new owners of the machine. When I got my 3DS XL earlier this year, I registered a couple of games, I think Luigi's Mansion 2 and Animal Crossing, and then I got Monster Hunter for free. And because there was another promotion going on at that time, I was able to give another code for Monster Hunter to a friend, and Monster Hunter is a very social experience. So I was able to give that code to a friend, and we were able to join up and play Monster Hunter together, which we wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. So I think it's really good that Nintendo's doing those promotions, and the one at the moment where if you buy a 3DS or a 3DS XL and one of their pre-selected games, you get Super Mario 3D Land, which is one of my absolute favourites on 3DS, and now playing 3D World on the Wii U as well. So if I could sum up my 3DS experience and why it's such an important part of my daily routine, it's because it's got a great library of games. I mean, first and foremost, I've got loads of games sitting on here. I bought a relatively big SD card and just downloaded loads of games through the 3DS store. So I've got Castlevania, Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion 2, Monster Hunter, which I play on some of those on a daily basis, others on a weekly basis, and they're all just sitting on here ready to go. You just open your 3DS and get to play. And then just the street passing features have just become such a big part of, leaving funny messages for my friends when I meet up with them, and then they'll open their 3DS when I've gone and find them, and street passing with other journalists and hopefully some famous Nintendo execs at some point has just become a really cool feature that you don't get anywhere else. So that's why I love my 3DS.